Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, reviewing anything and everything. And today we're getting into this Jurassic World Rebirth figure review. I know I'm going to butcher the name. First, I'm just going to say it's part of the gigantic Thrashers line. This is the Purussaurus. Now, one thing that I think is very interesting is that Mattel has used the Jurassic World Rebirth as a way to kind of just make a bunch of dinosaurs. Because a lot of these dinosaurs that you're seeing now lately that I have reviewed on the channel in regards to Jurassic World Rebirth were actually never in the movie. So, and as always, link's gonna be in the description down below for Amazon, if it is even available in Amazon. I say that because a lot of times they make exclusives just for Target. Now, I don't know if there ever was a prehistoric crocodile or alligator that they made for the Jurassic World line, Jurassic Park line ever really before. I'm sure there was. I believe there was, but I definitely know that I never purchased it. So this one is the first in the lineup, and it was actually a birthday gift for my son, and he actually loves it. So before I get into this one and its features, first, we're going to get into the box. So you can see that there, the frontal of the box. What's interesting is based on the colors, the background, this and that, a lot of people may not realize it, but I do feel there's a strong connection with making this the new retro line. If you look at the 93 classic ones, they have a style that's reminiscent of the movie theme of the original Jurassic Park. And I feel this almost is trying to say, well, these are the core colors in the design of Jurassic World Rebirth, which was supposed to try to be a resurgence of the genre, or the movie franchise, but I don't think it hit in that way, but that's a whole nother story. So here you see that what's interesting, and I mentioned this in a previous review video, that you really got to look at the box to see the different movements going on as far as where the arrows go. This one's saying side to side, and this one's rotating, because often a lot of these figures now, or at least this recent lines that I've been reviewing, have dual action features. And I think you could easily, if you don't look at the way they use the motion arrows, you might not realize that. And there was actually a figure that I didn't realize had a certain additional or secondary motion with it at the time. So this one here, angle this a little bit lower. So this one has the side to side, which you can see the whole pivot motion there, side to side. And then if you do I'm gonna hold this way for this one. If you turn this, let me try to get a good angle. It's hard to hold while you're doing this, but you see this now has the mouth opening, but also the legs moving. And if you just do the side to side, you just get the chomp. So it's kind of cool that you get the double action features on this. And then also, being that this is one of obviously the newer figures, all of the figures now for the main line get these updated teeth, these separate mold for the teeth. This is nothing new now, but it's really also interesting to see this on a type of figure that has a different teeth layout versus your typical, theropod dinosaur, your typical meat eater, two-legged T-Rex looking type of dinosaur. So here you can see it has crocodilian type of teeth, very reminiscent of the Spinosaurus actually, because obviously they have some similarities in their design. So I think that that's awesome that that's now just, like I said before, part of the main line. It's just is what it is, and that's really cool. You can see also too here the little detail work on we got the spines, little scoots. You even have the scales going along the edges, and there's different colorations. There goes the QR code. Different colorations as far as like the hues of this blue, but it's not over the top, so it's a very muted color overall, but still looks very nice. And then also too for scale, and I'm happy that I can now kind of present this at a lower angle than I used to, because now you kind of see that height difference of how tall the standard figure is of a man to the length and the size of the dinosaur. Now, what I'm going to do, as always, is get our measurements in so we can calculate this scale. Now, I don't know what this dinosaur is supposed to be. It says it's roughly, I want to say 14.25 will do, because it looks like about there. And then as far as the height goes, he looks like the top of the spine is actually 3.5. So I don't know what the actual dinosaur would be, but we'll tell you what it converts to here. So 14.25. So his length is about 22.8 feet. So you could just say 23 feet. And his height at 3.5 inches is 5.6 feet. So this is, if this is a 6-foot man, he is 5.6 feet. The dinosaur at the top of its spines, which you can kind of see there, fits correctly. So, and just to kind of give a refresh, because I know that I haven't said this in some of my videos in a little while, the scaling really goes off of the human figure. The human figures are considered a 3 3¾ or 3.75 inch scale. So let's assume that that equals 6 feet. And then when you do the math conversion on that, it gives you 19.2 is a ratio of 6 feet to 3¾ size is 19.2. So that's where you get the math from, multiplying that from the inches, then dividing it by feet by 12. And that's where you get the scale for that. So I don't know what this dinosaur would be normally, but as I mentioned before, he is roughly in this scale about 23 feet long and about maybe 5.5 feet tall. So as always, you guys, like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.